There's no more room for error. Only 4 teams remain in the fight to win the 2026 World Cup. And the first semi-final gives us a real showdown. France versus Spain. 2 World Cup champions. 2 of the best generations in European football. 2 completely different styles. And only 1 ticket to the World Cup final. The match will be played at the spectacular Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where a full house is expected and more than 80,000 fans will be in the stands to experience one of the most important nights in world football. Spain comes into this after beating Belgium 2-1 in a hard-fought match, once again showing that Luis de la Fuente's team knows how to compete in decisive moments. France, meanwhile, knocked out Morocco after winning 2-0, confirming that they are once again among the top favorites to lift the World Cup. But now everything changes completely. It's no longer enough to play well. It's no longer enough to compete. Now only one thing matters: winning. Because the winner will be just 1 match away from becoming world champion, and the loser will have to settle for playing for 3rd place. That's why millions of fans are looking for exactly the same information. What time does France play? Against Spain. In mainland Spain and the Balearic Islands, the match will start at 9 o'clock p.m. In the Canary Islands, it will start at 8 o'clock p.m. In France, the ball will start rolling at 9 o'clock p.m. In Portugal, it will begin at 8 o'clock p.m. In Mexico, these are the times: Baja California, 12 o'clock p.m. Sonora, and Chihuahua, 1 o'clock p.m. Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Monterrey, 2 o'clock p.m. In Colombia, Peru, Ecuador, and Panama, the match will start at 2 o'clock p.m. In Costa Rica, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and Nicaragua, it will start at 1 o'clock p.m. In Venezuela, Bolivia, Chile, and Paraguay, it will be at 3 o'clock p.m. In Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil, the match will start at 4 o'clock p.m. In the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba, it will start at 3 o'clock p.m. If you're following us from the United States, these are the times: East Coast, New York, Miami, Orlando, 3 o'clock p.m. Central Time Zone, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, 2 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time Zone, Denver, 1 o'clock p.m. West Coast, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle, 12 o'clock p.m. In Canada, Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal, 3 o'clock p.m. Winnipeg, 2 o'clock p.m. Calgary and Edmonton, 1 o'clock p.m. Vancouver, 12 o'clock p.m. So now you know, check your schedule carefully because we're about to witness a historic semi-final. Mbappe versus Lamine Yamal. Griezmann versus Pedri. 2 spectacular teams fighting for a spot in the grand final of the 2026 World Cup. Block 2. Where to watch France versus Spain. TV channels and official platforms. And now let's get to the question that's been asked the most in the last few hours. Where to watch France versus Spain live. If you are in Spain, the match can be watched completely free to air on Televisión Española's La One. In addition, it will be available through RTVE Play to watch from your mobile, tablet, computer, or any smart TV. You can also follow it on Day Dawn, which will offer special programming throughout the day with pre-match coverage, post-match analysis, and all the reactions from Arlington. In France, the match can be watched free-to-air on TF1, as well as on the official platforms that hold the broadcasting rights for the World Cup. French television will begin its special programming several hours before the match, with live coverage from the stadium, interviews, and tactical analysis. In Portugal, the broadcast will be handled by Sport TV. In Mexico, the match can be watched on Canal 5 Las Estrellas, 2DN Bigs. In the United States, the game can be seen in 2 ways. In English, Fox Sports and Fox 1. In Spanish, Telemundo, Peacock, and Fubo. In Canada, the broadcast will be available on TSN, CTV, and RDS. In South America, the match can be followed throughout almost the entire continent through DS Sports and DGO, as well as the main national networks. Argentina, Telefe, Taisi Sports, T-Sports, D-Sports, and DGO. Chile, Chilevisión, D-Sports, and DGO. Brazil, TV Globo, Sport TV, and KCTV. Colombia, Caracol Televisión, RCN, RCI, eSports, and DGO. Peru, América Televisión, eSports, and DGO. Ecuador, Teleamazonas, eSports, and DGO. Uruguay, eSports and DGO. Paraguay, Tigo Sports, eSports, and DGO. Venezuela, Televen, eSports, and DGO. Bolivia, Red Uno, Unitel, eSports, and DGO. In Central America, the broadcast will be on Teletica in Costa Rica, Guatemala, Chapin TV, Honduras, Televicentro, El Salvador, TCS, Nicaragua, Canal 10, Panama, RPC and TVN. And in the Caribbean, countries like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Cuba will be able to follow the match through DIA Sports, DGO, and local operators with broadcasting rights. So now you know it doesn't matter from which corner of the world you're following this World Cup. France and Spain are starring in a spectacular semi-final that pits two true powerhouses of international football against each other. A match that feels like an early final, where every detail can decide who will fight to lift the World Cup. After going over the schedules and TV channels, it's time to dive right into the match. The possible lineups, the big individual matchups, and the tactical keys that could decide who earns a spot in the final. Spain could stick to their usual 4-3-3 with a very recognizable structure and the intention of dominating the match through possession. Unai Simon would be in goal. The defense could be made up of Dani Carvajal at right back, Robin Lenormand and Aymeric Laporte as center backs, and Marc Cucurella at left back. In midfield, Rodri would be the core of the team, accompanied by Pedri and Fabian Ruiz. Three key players to help build up play, control the tempo, and prevent France from turning the match into a constant exchange of attacks. In the attack, Lamine Yamal would appear on the right, Nico Williams on the left, and Alvaro Morata as the main striker. De La Fuente could also use a more mobile striker if he needs to attack the space behind the French defense. France, on the other hand, could go with a very strong 4-2-3-1 formation. In goal would be Mike Maignan. The defensive line could be made up of Jules Koundé on the right, William Saliba and Dayot Upamecano as center backs, and Theo Hernandez as the left back. In the double pivot, Aurélien Tchouaméni and Eduardo Camavinga would appear. Two players with physicality, the ability to recover the ball, and the quality to overcome Spain's first line of pressure. Further forward, Ousmane Dembélé could play on the right, Antoine Griezmann with freedom between the lines, and Kylian Mbappé starting from the left. As center forward, France could go with Marcus Thuram or Randal Kolo Muani, depending on whether they want more hold-up play or more depth. The first big key will be the duel between Lamine Yamal and Theo Hernandez. Lamine will try to receive wide, take on his man, and force the French fullback to backpedal. But Spain will also have to watch out for Theo's runs forward, because the Frenchman can take advantage of any turnover to attack the space left behind Lamine and Carvajal. The second big battle will be Mbappé against Carvajal and Lenormand. France will try to find the forward on the run, especially after winning the ball back. Spain can't give him any space. If Mbappé receives the ball at speed, it will be almost impossible to stop him without committing a foul or giving up a clear chance. That's why Rodri will have a crucial mission, to stop transitions before France can activate Mbappé. Another key will be in the midfield. Spain needs Pedri to find space between Tchouaméni and Camavinga. If he manages to turn and connect with Lamine, Nico or Morata, Spain will be able to create chances. France, on the other hand, will try to prevent Rodri from receiving the ball comfortably. Griezmann could be the one to press him, forcing Spain to build through the center-backs or the full-backs. The duel between Nico Williams and Koundé will also be fundamental. Nico can break the game open with his speed, but Koundé is one of the fastest and most reliable defenders for France. If Nico manages to win that battle, Spain will have a constant attacking outlet. And watch out for set pieces. France has a lot of aerial power with Saliba, Upamecano, Tchouaméni and Thuram. Spain can also cause problems with Laporte, Lenormand, Morata and Rodri. In such an evenly matched semi-final, a corner, a wide free kick or a rebound can decide everything. Spain will try to keep the ball. France will look to punish every turnover. Spain wants to control the tempo. France wants to break it. And the team that manages to impose its game plan will be much closer to playing in the grand final of the 2026 World Cup